Hi.
What are we talking about today? I'm going to jump right in.
We're jumping in.
This is the week that we just jump in.
We have to, because what are we talking about? We're talking about the power of pivoting.
Yes.
Man,
my Lord.
We can take that one outside of real estate as well.
Yeah, I think we should start with real estate. What does our week look like?
Oh my gosh. It's been an insane week. It's been insane.
I would agree.
I mean, lots of curveballs thrown our way.
Tell them about your Tuesday.
Oh my gosh. Tuesday. So the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's, lots of, it's pretty wide circumference there. And I was
spread out metroplex.
That's why sometimes I'll have clients be like, I want to be within an hour and a half of the airport. And I'm like, wow, that is quite the distance. But I was in Arlington. I drove from Dallas to Arlington for an appointment. Then I drove back to Dallas. Then I drove to Frisco, which is about 45 minutes, for a home evaluation, which we can chat about. And then I went from Frisco to Aledo, which is about an hour and a half without traffic. And then I left Aledo and went to Benbrook. And then I left Benbrook and I went to Denton, which is like another hour. So it was just...
And all of this was real estate. It wasn't personal.
It was all real estate. Yeah. And it was like, someone's trying to throw it in. Well, the only time that works for me is after 2 p.m. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes no sense geographically, but we made it happen.
But you accomplished it.
We made it happen. We accomplished it.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I feel like just in moments like that and going to the pivoting aspect of this podcast. I mean, we even got to Thursday, and I'll go back and kind of talk about my week, but we got to Thursday and we're like, wait, what are we talking about
happened
on the podcast this week?
Oh my gosh,
we have great guests coming in today that we're going to actually record some as well. So that's all solid. But for you and I was like, let's talk about pivoting.
Let's make this relevant to the here and now.
Yes, all week.
Yes, we've had to pivot.
100%. And then you've been helping me with a listing a little bit this week. So that was part of the home eval, which was really interesting. The clients are from out of town. I know them personally, love them dearly. And so we had kind of thrown up, comps and numbers to them and things like that. And then we walked the house and it was an investment property. So there's renters in it and clearly did not love the house as much as the homeowners themselves would have, which is typical, right? With renters.
Renters do not care for homes like a homeowner does.
Yeah.
They just don't.
I mean, you can find good renters, but at the end of the day, it's not their home.
No, right.
But so after walking it through, and my clients wanted to get it live this weekend, and this was Tuesday.
Yeah, and you have to get photography done, and photography takes a bit of time.
Yes.
And then it takes time to do the listing input. And so we had to move quickly.
Yes. So I literally, after that walkthrough on Tuesday, canceled all my Wednesday plans. I mulched.
You went over and above.
I did.
You went over and above for your client.
Dragged my husband into cleaning the carpets.
That's what husbands are for.
And I'm like, all right. I picked up trash around the yard. It was quite the day. It was actually a really fun experience. Got to bring the entire family into the process.
Cute.
But it was just one of those things where the whole week where we would normally have a bit more time to kind of breathe and sit with everything. I don't think either of us had that.
No. And this is why when you are kind of a bit of a perfectionist and you're a planner and you like to be strategic with the hours of your day, real estate can sometimes just rip that rug right out from underneath you. And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
And you have this sense of a loss of control. But if you look at it like, you know what, we're just going to pivot today.
Yeah.
And I think you have to do that all the time. Children, spouses, vacations, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
You can plan it as best as you can, but you have to leave some room for
just a little wiggle room.
You have to leave room for some spontaneity, you know?
No, I would totally agree. I think really what it comes down to is becoming a problem solver. Like when a challenge comes your way, like this week, honestly, this week was challenging for me. Yeah. I had a lot more going on than just the listing as well. I know you do as well. And when each new thing came to me, at times I felt this sense of like, I'm getting overwhelmed. And then I reframed it in my mind. I'm like, are you, or are you just getting a lot done?
Yeah.
And you're maybe putting something on the back burner that you thought was for this week, but it's okay.
Yeah.
That you didn't get it done right in this second. And I was quick on my feet, problem solving. And so I think that's just a really important part of real estate, but of life. Like
Absolutely.
problems come daily.
Absolutely.
So.
And that's why we talk about, and every transaction's different. This case, your sellers are out of town.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go mulch the yard,
No.
and you got to call
Can't
a
do
lawn
it.
guy, and you have to just make it work for each unique situation.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not an easy thing when you are quite a planner.
Yeah.
And you also can feel like, am I doing the best possible job that I can do right now? And it's like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
It's just doesn't feel as there's not as much room to
It might
breathe.
not feel as like comfortable, but
Right.
that doesn't mean it's not good
Right.
or great even.
Right. And sometimes when you're jumping in like that, you work harder because
Yeah.
you do. It's like we were talking about before, the healthy stress or fear. It's like you jump in and you go.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
100%. Speaking of getting the lawn mowed, just so people know, because I didn't even really realize this, a lot of lawn care services or companies, they want you to go under contract, right? Like it has to be biweekly or once a month. That's a sustainable business model. I
Right.
totally understand that. So when I realized, I need to get somebody out here to mow the lawn within 24 hours, less than that, I started calling all these companies and they're like, I'm sorry. And I finally reached this guy and he goes, look, if you pay me $10 more and you give me a good Google review, if we do well, I've got you. And I was like, yes, thank you. And so I was like, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
I love those little moments. It's actually kind of fun. It's a little
Yeah.
bit exhilarating
It's
when it turns out
exhilarating.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a little bit of an adrenaline rush when you're
Yeah.
like, I got to call this person. I got to do
Yeah.
this. And I gotta do this. Yeah. But it's also, one of those things where whenever I'm having my day, I'm like, oh, got this
Yeah.
and this and this. When you're in real estate and whatever you're doing, I think
Yeah.
it's good to go, okay, I've got to leave a bit of room,
Yes.
Yeah. And on Tuesday, I mean, I have to communicate the expectations of my clients too, right? I'm trying to fit this in. And so I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to be there around 5, but I don't know what the traffic is going to look
Yeah.
like. And I would like to be like 5-10 minutes early, but I have to just communicate to my clients in that moment.
We're in flow.
We're making this happen
Yes.
for you, and I'm going to make it happen. But also, I've got to give myself grace
Yeah.
to be like, okay, well, I'm going to make it happen to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
And I'm going to communicate to you. I'm not going to be so rigid with myself
Yeah.
where I'm so stressed on the drive to make it there that I'm being unsafe. You have to just communicate and do the best you can.
Just see Betty flying down the highway.
I do that, and it's
going.
it's not good. I posted on my Instagram, but my car literally, I was like, my car is doubling as a therapist today because my car said, please take a break.
A
A little coffee cup, and I was like,
It is a smart car.
I feel like you know me. You know me so well. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Okay, wait. Pause. Okay. Hang on. I had a thought when you were talking about okay. Can I just start talking again?
Right now? Okay, wait. My eyes are watering so bad. Okay. Go ahead. Now I'll just start talking.
A thought that I had, hang on. Let me reset. Okay, I would love that you were talking about giving yourself space within the day a little bit too, because right now we're talking about real estate, and, maybe getting to a showing or to a home eval. But in life, I think if we don't give ourselves that space, which is hard for me, I am a very scheduled person, especially if I already have my day set and you come to interrupt it. Wait a second.
Don't do it.
But I have learned and am learning in the journey of it that when you leave that space, you're also leaving space for whatever you want to call it, a God moment, a universe moment, whatever that looks like for you. Personally, it's the Lord for me, but he interrupts those moments and you get just such sweet moments, whether it be with yourself or a family member, or maybe somebody needs you, maybe a lunch was meant to happen. And so I think I want to speak to that pivoting power as well, is when you are structured and so rigid, sometimes you can miss those really sweet, just life moments.
Absolutely. Rigidity will kill you. Rigidity is so, the more I've grown and learned, I'm like, that is one of the worst things that you can operate in is rigidity. Even like black and white, this is the only way. It's like, there are cases where that's right and wrong, right? But I think that if you can leave the space,
A little bit of gray.
yeah. And I've found so much power in detours, like even just in my personal life. Like I thought it was going this way, and then and later I'm like, oh my gosh. And I even one time, this is like a physical example, but I was driving and the road was closed. And I was like, oh my gosh, how am I, and it rerouted me, and I got just a different way. And I look up and I'm like, oh my gosh, there was this whole like nature park that I didn't know existed.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I was like, I didn't know this was here. Yeah. And then I was like, if I had not gone on that detour, I would have never seen this whole beautiful thing that I could have just been going about my day. And so those moments of pausing, those moments of like, stop and smell the roses is a phrase for a reason, right? You can go blow through your day and completely forget to like soak in the sound of your kid laughing, like those, it sounds so whatever, but those moments are what brings so much life.
The memory moments that when you get to the end of of your life, you're like, oh, I experienced connection with other humans, with moments, things like that, opposed to, well, I got 10 deals done.
Exactly.
Right this second.
Exactly.
And not to say that there's not beauty in getting a lot of deals done or being super productive in your life. Yeah. I love that.
We know you do.
Nothing is better than just achieving, checking off a task list, But yeah, you don't look back. I don't think you hear many stories as people near the end of their life where they're like, I was just so proud that I always got my to-do list done.
No.
Most of them are like, I wish I had stopped and slowed down just a little bit more to enjoy what was before me.
I've even had times where I'm with a client and I'm on a schedule and I need to get out and they start sharing something deeply personal or they're tearing up and I'm like, you know what? This can wait.
Yeah.
Like,
you need to make space for a moment like that.
Yeah. I can absolutely be with you in this moment right now. And I don't think there's anything more beautiful. And yes, we have to get to things, right? But there's something so beautiful when you, as the other end of someone, can sit and have space for like where they're at right now. And then I get home and I'm like, what refilled me today was that moment that I didn't really think that I had, and not having
and didn't plan for.
And not having the scarcity mentality behind like, there's never going to be enough. If you can look at life through the lens, and I grew up in
scarcity,
a lot of scarcity, a lot of poverty mentality. If you can look at life with, I will have what I need. Yeah. I mean, even for Tuesday, I was like, I have what I need for today.
Yeah.
I will have what I need. And I have to, stop and get gas and I have to get food, but it's like having that mentality, it changes everything. Instead of like, how am I going to get through this day? What am I, it's like, all right, I'm going to be in the car. You know what? I'm going to listen to a podcast. I've got some time. I'm going to voice text. Oh, I don't text and drive, kids. But I do voice text sometimes when I'm driving because it is safer.
Voice text. Do you know how much I get done via voice text while driving?
Listen, voice texting changed my life. I'm a little plug here. Voice texting changed my life because even when you're communicating, I mean, with real estate, you do have to have a lot in writing. So that's a whole thing. But even with real estate, I'm like, they can hear the tone of my voice and they're in a meeting and we didn't have to plan to get. Yeah. Anyways, we sidebarred there. But yeah.
No, I love that. And at the end of the day, you did have everything you needed for Tuesday. It was a long day, but from what I saw, you got all things done. Didn't you even submit an offer for somebody
I did,
too?
2 offers.
Two offers, but I think like 10 p.m.
Client didn't sign it till the next day, so I didn't get it submitted, but I got it in. Yeah. I was in my car on my laptop. I was like, this is what it's like to be a realtor. Yeah. You guys don't even know.
So I love that because you did have more than enough. Your mind was there. I did too. My listing went live today. Your listing went live today.
2 listings live today.
We've got open houses tomorrow.
2 open houses back to back.
We are doing it, and I still had a great time this entire week.
Yeah.
Not to say that there weren't moments of like, okay, well, let's figure this out.
Something else that I've learned with pivoting, like the best stories that you have
Oh my gosh,
are
yes.
those crazy days. Like I think about it, I'm like, oh, it would be so nice if it was just peaceful. It would be boring.
100%.
I can tell the funniest, craziest stories whenever my day went completely not as planned.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, those are the moments. Those are the memories. It's the memories. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to remember when everything was like exactly
I think
planned.
we all long for peace or calm. Maybe peace isn't the right thing, but like calm or simple until we get it. And at least for me, after a day or two, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need something to take place. Not to say that there's not great to have moments of rest or even seasons of rest. I'm an advocate for that. But I do, I agree that the beauty is in kind of the chaos.
Even
of
in
life.
in a book, those moments, like the peaks, the like, what? Luke, I am your father? Oh my gosh. Like, in the Sixth Sense when you realize the guy, I mean, I'm not going to, I will give it away. The guy's dead. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, I cannot believe. And if that didn't happen and it just stayed like,
I feel like watching a movie with you would be an absolute blast. After that
I don't handle myself well. I just
do you immerse yourself in the movie?
I have a very hard time remembering that I'm watching a movie. I'm in it. I mean, there's been times I'm praying. Like my sister's like, it's an actor.
It's not gonna work.
I'm like, listen, it's not an actor for me right now. I am involved. I'm invested. Oh my God. Yeah, there's certain things I can't handle, honestly, because I just feel it too much. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I have enough of this in my life personally. Why am I doing this?
I feel like my anxiety levels
this is not entertainment.
Just skyrocketed watching a simple movie.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well, is there any other? I want to keep today short because we are pivoting.
Because we got a lot to do today.
We have so much to do. But is there any other thoughts that you have around that?
No, I mean, I think I would say to a buyer and a seller as well, it's really important to be able to have that mindset that there's going to be things that come along the way.
Yes.
Because I think as sellers and buyers, they kind of, it's stressful when you have that, hey, someone wants to come for a showing in 30 minutes. And, so I try to prep them and plan them for like, hey guys, just so you know, we got this road ahead of us, but there's going to be all kinds of things that come in the way. And so if you can try to just roll with us, especially the first weekend something goes live, is when people are living there, they're like, I got to get out. And I just try to warn them and to stay ahead of some of the stress that can come with that. But it's really powerful if you can just go, okay, we're on the journey and we might have to take a left turn here and there.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Even in the sense of pricing, and I'm talking about buyer or seller. But for example, this week with my seller, like we were landing on the perfect sale price, right? Kind of tossing back and forth ideas. And I had to keep reminding them that, hey, what we're starting with is probably not the finishing contract. And so know that everything is negotiable. There's going to be back and forths. So in that, be willing to pivot.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always mean that you're going to not benefit. It might be a great pivot. But as a buyer too, when you're going in, just because you see a house at $500K, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to walk away paying that or not getting something else in your corner.
Right,
so
exactly.
Just go in with an open mind.
Open mind, open heart. It's the only way to go.
I love that. Well, I hope this helps everybody on pivoting. Be a problem solver, open mindset. Go with the flow of life.
Just let it happen. Just let it all just go. Ride the wave. Ride the wave.
I love that. Amazing. Well, we will catch you guys soon.
Catch you next time.
Bye.